We know that Richard Stearns and Robert Mueller worked together in the U.S. Attorney's Office here in Boston in the 1980s. Both were top-ranking officials. Now, former and current associates of the men tell me they were very close at the U.S. Attorney's Office here and afterward. We've been told that when Robert Mueller flies into town, he often dines with Richard Stearns at Stearns' home. That implies a closeness of relationship that is a level above having dinner with somebody at a banquet, at a country club, or at a convention, or even in a restaurant. We wanted to pursue the question of how close the two might be. We reached out to Judge Stearns, and Judge Stearns had no comment, saying he couldn't comment on the case before him, although this isn't really part of the case, but he wouldn't comment on it. I recall that judges have their portraits unveiled in ceremonies after a certain amount of time on the bench. In 2006, Richard Stearns had his portrait, his commissioned portrait, unveiled, and he was the honoree. I went back and looked in the transcripts of the event and found that Robert Mueller was an invited guest who had flown in with his wife to attend the ceremony, and he was also a featured speaker. So we then sought out the videotape, and the fact of the matter is, in fairness to Judge Stearns, I should say that he provided us with a video of the event, and it shows Robert Mueller talking about Stearns, the honoree, and calling him his friend and his mentor.
Since Rick has become a judge, I have not had the privilege of appearing before him. But given what Patty's already said, and knowing him over the years, and knowing the wonderful woman who is his wife, I know that these qualities will have endured to this day. I am indeed honored to be a part of this ceremony, and honored to count him as a friend and a mentor.
Which suggests an even closer relationship between the two. Stearns reciprocates by calling Mueller a very good friend, saying,
"The only comfort that I took in the aftermath of 9/11 was the fact that Bob had just been appointed to lead the FBI. So public servants like Bob Mueller, that our safety and our preservation as a nation depends, and we could be in no better hands."
So you have that context in which Judge Stearns, formerly a member of the United States Attorney's Office, has been chosen by the U.S. Attorney's Office to preside over this particular case. Are there reasons? Would a reasonable person, would the public, would a skeptic, might that person have questions? And so you ask yourself, and that's how you and I, the public, consider them reasonable people. The Supreme Court does. What would you do? Would you think there might be reasons to question his partiality?